Hello, this is a message from the President of the Yes California Congress to the members of the CALEXIT Congress, aka board members. Hello, my name is Marcus Ruiz-Evans, founder of CALEXIT in 2012 with the book California's Next Century, and President of Yes California CALEXIT since 2017. This is a message for the CALEXIT Congress. I will make video updates for board members as needed so that everyone can follow along, whether you're a board member or just a regular Californian who wants to see what we're doing. First, requests from the board. Many board members called me after the February 7th meeting and had three requests now. Get organized right away, make it more exciting so members of the public will want to watch, and never allow someone to come into a meeting and hijack it to bring in drama. I hear you, and we are taking immediate steps. Getting organized very quickly. Every beginning of a CALEXIT Congress, we're going to start stating the mission statement right at the beginning. What is the goal of this group? We will follow up by stating benchmarks of success approved by the board. What do we have to do to achieve that goal? Finally, a list of all the projects and activities from past board meetings. What was worked on in the past? This will allow everyone to know what we're trying to do and how far we've come to meet those goals. Additionally, we will then cover the agenda for that meeting, so you know exactly what we're going to talk about at that meeting, and we will cover the agenda for the next meeting, so you know what's going to happen next week. And all this will happen at the beginning of each meeting, allowing everyone to know who we are, what we're trying to do, where we came from, and what we're planning next week. Additionally, we will start at 11 a.m. sharp, period. We will limit comments from board members in discussion to no more than 2 minutes maximum for each person on each subject. No more big, long responses. And we are implementing and have already implemented Robert's Rules of Order and will be naming someone to help guide us at each meeting. Committee meetings are now formed. They will be happening Wednesdays at 7 p.m. That time may change, but at least that's what we're looking at tentatively for the board. We will have each committee try to meet Wednesday at 7 p.m. Each committee will get 30 minutes unless there is a reason for a longer meeting. We will have multiple committee groups meet on Wednesday. So the Congress is on Sunday. Committee meetings, which really get into the weeds and details, are on Wednesday. Everything's available to the public. Everything will be recorded and posted for the public and additional board members to see. We are also now proposing a third committee, the Culture Committee. Understanding how to create a successful board or group. I spent a long time looking at research from academia on what makes a successful organization. Now, obviously, having your ducks in an order was big, and obviously, many housekeeping issues were essential, but what they all kept saying was culture. You have to nail the culture at the beginning. This group is supposed to be about getting a positive, can-do, accountable, let's get things done, let's get shit done, able to disagree with each other politely, but constantly moving and achieving publicity goals group. We are now forming a culture committee so that we can come up with a list of behaviors and actions that are tolerated and not tolerated to achieve that culture. Everybody who's a board member is willing to join, or able to join, I should say. We will be formalizing a mission statement and a list of benchmarks so that we can measure every single week how we are progressing. The mission statement right now is two parts. One, to raise awareness among all Californians, or at least the 1/3 who will believe in and support full-blown secession of America, that it is unreasonable to not have this discussion about what if California has to go it alone, especially after January 6th, and especially if there's more instability in America. Secondly, to raise the profile of California as a nation to Californians, Americans, and the entire global population. Benchmarks for success. These are proposed and we will be taking suggestions. Become as professional in corporate operating and display incredible having your ducks in a row 4 weeks from now. Full implementation of Robert's Rules of Order 2 weeks from now. Have famous people who have some sort of public knowledge or reputation attend a Yes California meeting and at least hang out or present 3 weeks from now. Form a fundraising vehicle that can raise money legally 2 weeks from now. Prove that at least 90% of all decisions were made by consensus 2 to 3 weeks from now. I'm changing that a little bit. It was 3, I think we can do it in 2. Have 4 publicity projects that were discussed, created by the board, and fully enacted by the board, done within 2 weeks from now, and continue explosive growth as we've already had and enjoyed for the last couple weeks. Stating our agenda, our past actions, and our future actions we will consider each meeting at the beginning, and stating our mission statement and how well we are achieving benchmarks. This will allow every board member and everyone who watches the videos to measure how well the Congress, the CALEXIT Congress, is doing. Full transparency in how we will achieve our goals, and full accountability to the board members and to comments from the public. Committee meetings will be recorded, just like the Congress, and shared with the public. Superpowers to the board members. Every board member has the ability to speak at any meeting and demand to be on the agenda. They can come to any meeting and present their publicity idea to grow the mission statement, the awareness of California, that we need to have this conversation now, and that it is unreasonable to not have a conversation about building a life raft when you're on a ship going down underwater. Additionally, publicity projects that raise the profile of California as an independent nation. If you have any publicity projects on that, you have the right to come to any board meeting and demand to be on the agenda and present your idea. Nobody can criticize your idea. Nobody can show negative energy, and they just have to sit and listen. We ask board members to provide positive feedback to your idea. If they don't have positive feedback, they should just be quiet. Now, this includes constructive criticism, but that's not negative energy. So if you present an idea about raising publicity, let's take the fundraising committee recently that was formed from a decision in the CALEXIT Congress, and now it's actually being enacted. We were looking at a fundraising vehicle, and initially we were looking at a 501c3. Now, people had criticisms on the 501c3, so we moved to a 501c4. Then people had additional criticisms on that, and maybe we might be looking at another organization. So there was some critique about what you're trying to do and some outlining of maybe you're not thinking it through. But the idea was always, how do we make the idea better? No one ever said, let's not have a vehicle to raise money at all. Constructive criticism is always allowed by board members. If you present your idea, people are allowed to present constructive criticism. What they're not allowed to do is say, dumb idea, let's not even think about that. That will never happen at a meeting, ever. This is a safe place for board members to present their ideas to grow the mission statement of convincing Californians now it is time to have this conversation because America's unstable, and convincing California, Americans, and the world that we already are a nation. Additionally, these powers have been proposed by Yes California for the Congress. Congress will have the authority to direct all money from the 501c4 or 517. That means the fundraising vehicle will have money. It'll raise the money legally, but then it goes to Congress, and Congress will direct what publicity projects are actually going to be funded. Now, you can come and present your publicity project and do it no matter what, but it will be up to Congress if they want to put real money behind you. Congress shall issue statements based upon issues that are going on and how Californians should feel about it. These will be presented as resolutions by the California Congress. So we're going to start having debates on controversial topics. We will take a vote by the CALEXIT Congress on the way that we feel everybody should be thinking about that as a Californian. And then Yes California will issue that as a statement, and that will be the official Yes California statement on the issue. Board members set the agenda, direct funds spent on publicity projects, and issue statements that are the official word of Yes California, just like a real Congress and a real board of directors. Also, we need to increase the public desire to watch and attend these meetings. We have plans to do that. This is a 4-step process brought to me by a board member. I literally stole the idea with his permission, and it's coming to you now. Have someone give a lecture or presentation on an important issue each meeting, something that's very controversial and will attract the eye of the public. Make sure that's announced at least a week out so the public can see and know to come and watch that meeting. Have debates on controversial topics that end with Yes California issuing a resolution on how to think about that issue or call for action for all Californians and the government, and maybe just everyone in the world. Become as corporate as possible. And that means we keep 2 schedules. We start on time. We implement a dress code. We operate that dress code. We operate professionally, we have consistent meetings, and we respond quickly to all inquiries by board members and the public. The idea is that if we have discussions that are interesting and they bring in outside people, they'll watch that topic, they'll watch that discussion, and then they're going to see a super organized, professional group of Californians who are completely dedicated and intelligently working on this goal, and then they will choose to join. Attractive topic brings the public in. They see how well we are organized. They see how dedicated we are. They see the quality of brains we have here, and then they choose to join them. That's how we grow the group. Additionally, a judicial committee was formed. TJ, Matt, Marcus, and Jason are current members. Any member of the board can join this, as well as they can join any other committee. We will hear at the Judicial Committee if there are potential red flags about any board member that's proposed to join Congress. Only if the Judicial Committee approves that there are no red flags about that person can they even be considered to join Congress. Additionally, this Judicial Committee will review all interpersonal disagreements, and if they are worthy of discussion, will allow them to go to Congress. The idea here is to limit drama so that only actual important debates about policy and strategy go in front of Congress, and we don't use up time. The idea is that we want Congress, the CALEXIT group, to discuss important issues on strategy, proposals, and there's going to be some disagreements and some criticism of that, of course. And sometimes someone's going to say something or the group says something and we didn't phrase it right, and we need to have a long debate on how to say that better. But we're going to separate that from someone maybe isn't a right candidate and is here to just bring drama to the group, and maybe someone is upset that someone else said something. This Judicial Committee is going to look into it, and only if they think that this isn't about drama and this person's on the up and up and this is an important issue will it ever actually go to Congress. This was asked of me by multiple board members who were not pleased with me and the fact that I allowed an outsider to come and apply to be on the board, because that person basically used the opportunity to criticize the entire group and hijack the meeting. That was really, really not cool, and many members were really offended by that person who did that, and it didn't go over well. So I was ordered to put in guidelines so that we never have drama like that again, and I did. This will all have to be approved by the CALEXIT Congress, but it's things we're going to be looking at. Thank you. See you Sunday. All right, Californians.